Bethany, can you try to recite the Second Amendment from memory here?
Oh gosh, I know it's the right to bear arms.
I bet if I started off, you could finish it.
Okay.
A well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right.
Hi, my name is Britt, and I use she, her, goddess pronouns.
I'm Carmen. I'm a musician.
My name's Dan, and I really do love guns.
Britt, today you are going to be guessing from a line of strangers who owns a gun.
Awesome.
Do you own a gun?
I do not yet.
Would you ever own a gun?
Yes.
I don't like guns. I don't really understand the logic behind owning a gun.
You know, I've got 3 safes behind me, and that kind of speaks for itself.
Are they all filled with guns?
Yeah, and it expands more than this, honestly.
How do you think you're going to do at this?
I think I'm going to get them.
All right, well, let's see how you do. First up is Bethany.
Hi, Dan. My name is Bethany. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Bethany. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I'm a dancer. I actually now own a dance studio.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about your political leanings.
I do lean more on the conservative ends, but I could see myself almost being in the middle, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
She is a business owner. I'm a business owner. A lot of businesses have money flow coming and going, and that money flow is their livelihood. If a 300-pound guy wants to corner you into a room, there's not much you're going to do about it. There's a disparity of force there.
Dan, are you a fearful man?
No, I'm not fearful at all. I'm actually a very confident man. I'm certainly not overly confident. I'm actually a very humble guy.
All right, Dan, make a guess here with Bethany.
Yes.
I think you don't own a gun. I guess I have an impression in my mind that women are less likely to own guns.
I think you own a gun, but I think that maybe you feel weird about it.
I do own a gun, but I don't feel weird about it.
Okay.
I actually just live with my mom. She's older, and so I kind of feel like I just need to take care of her, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're being proactive about keeping you and your mama safe out there.
Oh yeah, I love her with all my heart.
Bethany, can you try to recite the Second Amendment from memory here?
Oh gosh, I know it's the right to bear arms. I'm sure if you told me, I could probably say what's going next, but I literally I'm
Well, let's try that.
Right now.
A well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to...
Why do I not know this?
Let's move on here to Amy.
Okay, first impressions, what you see from here to here, what do you think?
You're not a white man, so just right off the bat, that's a no for me.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an educator. I'm currently in grad school right now to get my degree in school counseling, so I can become an elementary school counselor.
Oh, cool.
My part-time job is substitute teaching and gun violence in schools. It's just really terrifying to me personally.
We need to arm teachers. How do you feel about that?
I disagree with that.
I'm going to say Amy's not a gun owner.
You're not a gun owner.
That is correct. I am not a gun owner.
Why don't you own a gun?
I have lost a colleague to a mass school shooting a couple years ago up here in the high school.
I'm sorry.
I think from there on, I just believe that gun control has really impacted me as an educator.
It is all school personnel's job to protect children, whether they have a gun or not. But the one who has the gun's the only one in that building that can do something about it.
I don't feel comfortable if my colleagues have guns in their classroom, and I work in an elementary school.
I'll tell you what won't make you feel comfortable. When you're in the classroom and you're hearing gunshots and your kids are out at lunch, if you have somebody who's willing to take the training,
I don't know,
which is very intense, by the way, far greater than an education class in college, I can guarantee you that.
The last semester of my senior year, we had to be waved in every day, with the wand. And you'd expect them to be able to focus when there are people walking around them with guns who are actively threatening their person.
Yeah, it dehumanizes students. School should be a place where kids learn and educators go and do their jobs.
I appreciate you sharing your heart. It was a lot of fun talking to you, and I guessed correctly, and I'm happy about that.
Hi, Britt. My name is Amir.
Hi, Amir. Can you tell me the difference between a handgun and a shotgun?
So handgun is fairly smaller. You can conceal it.
Okay, yeah, he knows too much. You currently own a gun.
Amir, do you feel that there is a gun problem in the U.S.?
I do, yes, actually. With the right laws and precautions, we can eliminate that.
Could you tell me what law above and beyond the 10,000 gun laws out there already would prevent gun violence?
Definitely a mental health check for individuals looking to get the concealed carry, as well as intense background check.
Do you feel that I should go see a physician each and every time I acquire a firearm?
No, but the initial time, the initial process, I'd say yes.
You would?
Yes.
That is very anti-Second Amendment. I'm going to say Amir does not own a gun.
Sorry to break it to you, Dan, but I am a gun owner. Yeah.
You are? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a Glock 43X.
Huh, yes.
Yeah, I have it too.
Oh, cool.
Good gun.
Here it is.
I have a pretty visceral reaction to seeing a gun, I think. I'm interested to hear why you have a gun.
Going to school, I worked really late nights, mostly graveyard shifts, and I've had my vehicle broken into. I've had individuals in my vehicle, strangely. I decided I should maybe purchase one just for my safety.
That makes sense.
Britt, I'm wondering if the recent actions by the police make you want to own a firearm anymore?
Yes, it does. That to me is really important, that I ensure that I am safe from a government that actively wants to infringe upon my rights and my own well-being. That's literally the reason for the Second Amendment. It's not to protect us from our neighbor, it's to protect us from our government.
Being a Black gun owner kind of puts me at more fear from law enforcement, because that could also make them think that I could be maybe a threat, even though I don't ever perceive myself as that.
Hi, Dan. My name's Alicia, and I use she, her, and they, them pronouns.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I use she, her, and they, them pronouns. What pronouns do you use?
Mr.
Mr. Okay.
Right off the bat, I would say no. I have this image in my head of gun owners being Trump supporters, definitely not with septum piercings.
Well, let me ask, what do you do in your spare time?
I hang out at like local bars in my area. I like to go like shoot pool.
I think she's a gun owner.
Yeah, I'm not a gun owner. I do not have a gun.
Why'd you start by saying yeah? I thought, yeah, I got it. Then you said you're not.
I had to throw you for a loop again.
Okay, all right. Why don't you own a gun?
I think that there's a really big mental health crisis, especially in the United States. There needs to be ongoing assessment when it comes to people's mental health and if they're carrying guns.
I wholeheartedly believe that we have mental health issues. I'm not sure it's a crisis, but that doesn't take away their Second Amendment rights. We mistakenly say because they have mental issues that all of a sudden they're violent.
I would say that I'm a person who struggles with my own mental health issues. I wouldn't consider myself a violent person. There's nothing wrong with them, really. It's that they might do something that isn't true to who they are.
Well, I want to thank you, and I really do wish you the greatest amount of safety in your area.
Thank you.
All right, here we're going to move on to our last person.
I'm Katy.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Where are you from?
I've lived all over the country. I have a military family background.
It's very cool.
Did your parents own guns?
Yeah, my dad owned guns growing up.
Did you learn how to use them when you were a kid?
No, we were discouraged from going anywhere near that part of the house.
I think Katy doesn't have guns.
You're certainly a young lady, which really doesn't matter too much, but a lot of times, especially females, they'll get involved in gun ownership once they have kids.
Yeah, I don't have kids yet.
My guess is just no.
Yeah, that was right. The reason I don't have guns is that my dad did have guns growing up in the house. He was in Vietnam when he was very young, and he suffered his whole life with PTSD from that. And when I was 10 years old, my dad actually used that gun to kill himself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why I think we might need a little more restriction around
Don't make me come back. I thought we were wrapping this part up.
Well, I guess from my perspective, at the end of my dad's life, he was very suicidal and expressed that feeling to his pastor and to his counselor and to his wife, my mother. And none of those people could take the gun out of his house. If a healthcare professional might have been able to take his gun away from him, I don't necessarily hold out hope that he wouldn't have killed himself some other way, but it might not have been as easy, you know?
Okay.
Raise your hand if Carmen was right about you.
I will say I came in a little more confident that I would be more successful. I think I barely slid through, but it's a wonderful panel. I think everybody is really great.
Jan, I'm curious if anything that anyone said has changed your perspective at all.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
My image of a gun owner beforehand was pretty narrow. In my mind, that tells me that I probably know a lot more gun owners than I think I do.
Why is the conversation around guns so fraught in this country?
I think that there's a fear of the wrong people having firearms, and the wrong people is completely subjective. Me being like a Black woman, if I am found with a gun on me, who the fuck knows what's going to happen? I mean, at the end of the day, if we're really looking for reform, if a bunch of POC are out there running around open carrying in open carry states, there will be gun control in 5 minutes. That's all it took in California. It just took the Black Panthers walking around with their rifles for 5 minutes, and then suddenly it's no longer an open carry state. Mm-hmm. Not to say that one group has them, but there's one specific group that is able to have them and brandish their firearms without being put in a body bag.